Hello and welcome to the Pens and Pixels Podcast, episode 85. I am your host, Cal G, and to my left is the coordinator extraordinaire,
Mike Kent.
The podcast is the place you come to if you want to hear about the art and news of video games, comics, and movies that week.
That's right. We're the P, and I don't have something clever to go with it afterwards.
With the triple P's.
The triple P's.
Pens Pixels Podcast, that's all you're going to know. This week we are going over the news, light week in news, so be prepared for that. And then after the break, we're going to be going over a list of things to come in gaming. All the big releases for the rest of this year and early next year, things that got delayed or just things we're looking forward to, just to mentally prepare you for the cavalcade of games that are coming.
It's the list of what's coming. Everything always seems to be packed on October. Mm-hmm. Even TV-wise, like we've even got Stranger Things coming out like the day before fucking Wolfenstein or something. Like, life's gonna suck.
Yeah, there's just too many things.
There's too many things.
Sacrifices need to be made.
Yeah.
And I will tell you why sacrifices are going to be on this very podcast.
For sure.
Is there any housekeeping for Pens and Pixels, Mike?
Sure. So big announcement to bring out is Pens and Pixels is going to be participating as a partner in CGX in the next year. So what that means is we'll be actually running our own art wing at CGX, which is Move Locations, and it's probably being rebranded, possibly. I don't know. But CGX is the Capital Gaming Expo. It's happening in 2018, and what this means for us is we'll have the Pens and Pixels art wing where we'll have actual talks from North American. I didn't get anyone foreign. The biggest, I couldn't get anyone from the studios from across. But anyways, from AAA game studios across North America, so from Ubisoft, BioWare, Wizards of the Coast, art directors and creative directors and concept artists from every one of those studios is going to be coming in and giving either a workshop, a lecture, or be participating in a panel over the whole weekend.
A lecture? Just like, none of you fucking kids can draw.
Can you imagine like Richard Witter's ahead of that? Like Wizards of the Coast, Magic the Gathering comes in.
I'd like to see you assholes do this. He just whips it up. Like, just fucking...
Can you do that? No? Then get out. Don't try. But that's going to be happening for next year with CGX. So if you're in actually anywhere, I would highly recommend coming up and joining in. It'll be all the announcements and information about the conference will be coming up in the next month or so, and we'll have more details about our participation then. But yeah, that's super exciting stuff, so please join us for us next year. That'll be I think it's in June or July of 2018. I know it's far away, but it's time to prep because the tickets aren't cheap.
A whole year in advance. That's how great you get the news from here. And if that's it, let's get right into the newsy news. First up, we got one of our old favorites. Mr. Todd McFarlane.
Oh.
If you don't know, he's the man who created Spawn.
And does that iconic Spider-Man cover that
Yep.
everyone still just keeps lording.
Yeah, everyone. There's like an homage to that cover every other month,
Yeah.
basically. So Todd McFarlane, creator of Spawn, he coined Venom's look. Actually, no, he didn't. He coined the Venom's look we know, because the very first appearance of Venom, actually, he just had like the square teeth. And,
I like to call him like the grandfather, or one of the grandfathers of the 90s grunge comic book movement.
Totally.
Yeah, like the whole like overveiny Wolverine, the
Yep.
graphic gothic Spider-Man. You're right, like the whole morphing of Carnage and Venom into something far more like monstrous.
Yeah, for sure.
And
like,
lots of bulky people.
bulky, like lots of like, intricate details too.
Yeah.
Even Spider-Man's webs looked a little more creepy because he really gave them a lot of texture and
They look like strings of webbing rather than like goop.
Yeah, or just like a string or something. Yeah, like he did a lot of cool stuff. He actually was one of the people who started giving Spider-Man those like crazy poses in the air too, like the really dynamic poses.
Yeah.
For a lot of times before that, it would just be either like a little bit awkward looking or slightly more static. But he really like pushed
It looked like a man actually holding onto a rope, going around the city.
But Todd McFarlane, he pushed those poses and he does a lot of great work. He is a great artist. Maybe not so much a great business person. I mean, I shouldn't say that. He had McFarlane Toys, which seems to still be successful.
Yeah.
But there's a Spawn remake in the works, and it's delayed due to Todd McFarlane's demands. You guys hear that? Fucking crazy. Thought we said it wasn't raining. Anyways, Spawn. See, we just conjure Todd McFarlane's name and just thunder starts crackling.
It's true.
Bats, are they after us?
We bat him every single time we say his name. It just starts doing that.
Todd. So, here's what he had to say. So, I'm not selling it, but if you want to see the rough draft, I'll just send it to you. but just so everybody knows, I write, produce, direct, non-negotiable. So he refuses to relinquish any control of this project, which in one way I think it's kind of admirable that he wants to have full creative control of this property that's his. Like, I get that. I understand that, like, that notion that you'd want that. At the same time, I don't think he can produce, direct, or write even sometimes.
How many people actually even get to write, produce, and direct their own movie? How many
indie filmmakers?
Yeah, like, I don't think, like, even fucking Spielberg can't sit back and say, I wrote, produced, and directed this movie.
So, but he did say, he's self-aware enough to say, like, he knows that how he sounds. Jesus Christ. So he said, I wouldn't ask to be a newbie director on a script that was going to ask for an $80 million budget. Why? Because as a CEO of my own corporation, I wouldn't take that deal. I wouldn't stick out $80 million and go, they're going to put a rookie, and he's basically going to be in charge of it. So I've created this tight little one that I keep saying, I think I can shoot it for 10. So he's asking for a fairly low budget for a movie, you know?
For a Spawn movie, which is all CG?
Yeah, for a thing that needs a flowing cape constantly.
A living suit that constantly moves and reacts like a living object.
Yeah, there's a lot of dark shots.
Like, in the original movie in the 90s, we couldn't even make that work computer-wise, so they just kept on making it go into his back and disappear. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think he can get 10, but if he goes to Blumhouse, as we've talked about on this podcast before, Blumhouse is great with directors. They give $5 million as a budget, and they're just like, go wild, because to them it's nothing. They're behind, incredibly successful movies like Insidious, and I think they're behind Paranormal Activity as well. Just small budget movies that they give out, up to $5 million. Split, they actually did recently as well. And people have made great films in that. They've also made not so great films, but it doesn't matter when it doesn't make money.
But there's no major special effects in any of those. Those were like really clever usages of any, like taking Paranormal Activity. They were just really clever. They were really smart. But like,
I think Paranormal Activity was actually filmed for like $10,000 or something ridiculous.
Upset
because there's like nothing.
Gods. The story angered him.
I will get it made.
The story has angered him.
Yeah, so I mean, you're right. Yes, a lot of those movies are not heavy at all on CGI or effects in general.
Yeah.
Actually, the last couple I'm thinking of to have nothing that you would consider a special effect.
No, like they rented a house for $100 and then took some camcorders in.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity especially, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, even the bigger budget quote unquote ones are still nothing really.
No.
Yeah, but I don't know. I
don't think it'll work. I mean, Todd McFarlane, like we were saying before, he has power in the way that his name has power, but I think Todd McFarlane is a little bit crazy. I've said this before on the podcast, but if you've ever watched his videos he puts up on YouTube where he draws something, like, you have a sensation that, like, he might hurt you. But all that aside, like, he just thinks he has this power, like, this ability to go out there and just be like, oh yeah, I can demand what I want. It's my property.
Well, we're back. Storm knocked out the power.
That was interesting.
It was really, that was fun.
Yeah.
The podcast got saved thanks to Adobe Audition CC 2017. So here's a free ad for Adobe.
Yeah.
When we had our power knocked out before with the laptop and shit when it stopped recording, we just lost it in Audacity. And Audition saved it for us, so that's great. Hey.
Congratulations, us.
Yeah. Good going, us. So that's it. That's all we're going to talk about Todd McFarlane. Don't want to anger the Thunder Gods anymore. He's crazy. That's fine.
I think he literally, because the Thunder just kept going, now it's done.
Yeah.
And we're done talking about him. I think we should just stop while we hit our head before Todd McFarlane strikes us down.
He's just like, delete this.
I will be the director.
Okay, so next up, we got a really dumb story, but hey, that's what this fucking podcast is, right?
Yep.
Despite promises, Rey will be left out of Star Wars Monopoly due to, quote, insufficient interest.
I don't even have a groan sufficient.
So let me bring everyone up to speed here. When the Star Wars Force Awakens Monopoly got released initially, it didn't have Rey in it. Everyone was kind of like, what the fuck? Like, why doesn't it? And they said it was due to spoilers or whatever. Even though people could ask about it, so it clearly wasn't that big a spoiler that she was in the movie or whatever, right? And now they said they won't release a version with Rey, citing, quote, insufficient interest. According to the Chicago Tribune, 18 months after Hasbro told a young girl that it would release a new version with a Rey token in Star Wars Monopoly, so it's a Rey token, it's, I guess, one of the little pieces, right?
Yeah.
The company reneged on that promise. Hasbro told the Associated Press that it made the piece, but it didn't release the new version in the U.S. due to insufficient interest. Rey is inarguably the main character of Star Wars Force Awakens, and the face of the new generation of Star Wars films. So why is she not in the Star Wars Monopoly game?
I don't even understand like what they're thinking as their fucking what is it called? Their market is like. I mean, for God's sakes, is it with comic books? Are always like, oh, you know, only men or like comic books, and only men like video games or something, which is bullshit. But then you can't make that like only men play Monopoly.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
I don't think like bros are getting together with their beers and being like, dude, whip out the Monopoly.
I wonder if they like. I feel like they would have clarified if this is what they meant, but maybe they just mean in Star Wars Monopoly. There's just maybe it just didn't sell that well. It's like the 9,000th version of Monopoly.
Yeah, and then with the tag mark onto all of this is that she's literally the main character of the next 3 movies. She is the new Luke Skywalker.
Oh, we said Luke Skywalker and the thunder came back.
Maybe we're angering to Luke Skywalker.
Sorry, I just want to see who the pieces are right now. Okay, so it looks like it's Kylo Ren, John Boyega's character, this other Darth Sidious man. Who's this? Is that another Kylo Ren?
I don't know.
It's so hard to tell because it's so small.
It looks like another Sith.
It does. And then, I don't know what that is. Is that Luke?
I guess.
Who knows? Anyways, I was just wondering if they had, like, it's a pod racer and a fucking and a lightsaber. Because in normal Monopoly, they have, like, it's a boot. It's not characters, right?
No.
Like, it's...
But you're supposed to be playing like you are the characters or something like that, right?
Okay.
So I kind of get it. But still, you can't... Like, it'd be like releasing a new Star Wars Monopoly for the original 3 trilogies, 4, 5, and 6, and then just being like, yeah, but we didn't include Luke because of lack of interest. Like, what?
Yeah, it's so... Yeah, I mean, it's a weird choice, and I don't think, like, putting a girl Star Wars character in there is going to increase or decrease your sales, really.
No.
Okay, here we go. Got a close-up of him. It's Darth Vader.
Who's not even in the movie.
And then it's Kylo Ren. John Boyega's character. And is that Luke Skywalker?
That's Luke.
What?
Why do they have 2 characters who are not even in The Force Awakens? This is the Force Awakens frickin' Monopoly.
Okay, so they're not very good.
No.
You know what? Something I really fucking hated when I was a kid. My parents got me Pokemon Monopoly. Great. Cool. I feel like that could translate well. Like, the boardwalks could be like Pokemon gyms or routes or whatever. No, you know what they were? They're Pokemon themselves.
Oh.
It was like number 142, Clefairy.
But you could have even made the towns like you can get Viridian Place.
Yeah, you could have got Viridian City or Viridian Forest or Saffron City or the Silphco or there's so many options if they had just bothered looking into the series even like a millimeter in. Like they were just like, no, just take the fucking Pokemons and they're the property. And I was just like, this is dumb. This is fucking stupid.
What were the pieces?
I don't remember. I don't. They weren't Pokemon, I don't think.
No, but were they like Ash and shit? Were they people?
I don't.
Because like that's even seems like a bigger miss. They could be like, oh, it'd be harder to carve the Pokemon, but like the Pokemon are just fucking bulbs of shit. Like a person's way harder to sculpt.
Yeah, nope. This is a new one. They definitely weren't that.
Oh,
These are great. Oh my god, these little pewter things of like.
It looks like they followed up and fixed their mistakes.
But look even in this new version, updated, you buy Staryu, you buy Onyx, you buy Nidoking and Geodude. This is stupid.
This is stupid.
Why? Yeah, it's so dumb. It's...
I would rather like compete over a gym with someone.
Yeah, like it would make way more sense, right? Oh yeah, okay. What's these? So you were little Pokemons.
Okay, but why would you be a little Pokemon buying other Pokemon? Are you a pimp?
Yeah, who knows, right? Yeah, I mean that would make more sense, honestly.
Just your Pimpachu.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. And my babysitter at the time, who was playing with me, God bless her, like she would always read the number, which pissed me off. She would be like, "That's number 124, Growlithe," and I'd be like, "Don't say the numbers."
So this is dear to me. You're ruining the experience.
Yeah. It's just stupid.
It's just like, what the fuck? After all the outrage from every single female in anything, I don't care if it's video games to a fucking novel, freakouts, right? And now we got Wonder Woman and everyone freaks out and goes, oh my god, women, awesome, yay. What old man does he like have no internet? He just literally sits on like a breathing machine and comes in and just goes, no vaginas, in and out of his coma periodically.
They probably think Wonder Woman's a fluke or something right now. They're going to need to be proved over and over again, I feel like, for some of these people to finally get it in their heads that like women can be successful. Anyone but a white man can be successful, you know? Yeah. Like, well, I mean, Netflix seems to get it. They gave, Aziz Ansari a series, and he's a brown guy and shit.
Yeah, well, it's even in casting stuff right now. Like, we just saw a short, or not short, what's that called? A leaked photo from Ready Player One.
Oh, yeah.
Which was like the first shot you're going to get to see. And as a huge fan, if you remember from our book reviews of Ready Player One, The guy shows up and he's in, this is not a spoiler for anyone, he's in his little room where he's got his headset on and he's thin. In the book, he's overweight, and it's part of the whole story is him being overweight and dealing with his problems with that and why he goes to this online world to like escape his feelings of inadequacy. And he's just standing there looking fucking pretty. Like, like you're in the post-utopian, this dystopian future, and you're like hiding in garbage, but you're like properly dressed, everything's clean, and you're thin.
We really can't hire ugly people unless they're funny. That's really the only exception that Hollywood has.
But you can find like cute, chubby people. Like Seth Rogen's cute. He's not like highly overly attractive.
Sure, but if it's going to be a dramatic role, they're not going to give it to him. You know, they're going to get someone, Jake Gyllenhaal, that cutie.
I mean,
was Jake Gyllenhaal not good looking?
I don't like Jake Gyllenhaal.
You know what his fans are called? Gyllenhaalics. That's fucking great.
That's awful. He looks like he's done too many drugs. No, but I mean, Chris Pratt, I mean, he did buff up, but he was always adorable.
Yeah, but when he buffed up is when he got all the roles.
That's true.
Yeah. I bet if he was still fat, he'd be getting comedy roles.
Yeah.
In, you know.
Only lovable fat guy.
Yeah. And now he can get romantic comedy leads. That's just how it is.
I would have been even okay if they just made him like a plumper person instead of like that looks like this thin 16-year-old.
Yeah, you're right. It would I would have. Like, without you saying that, I would have had no inclination that guy was supposed to be fat. Yeah. I wonder how they're going to tackle that in the movie.
I don't know.
Because, like you said, it seems like a big theme of the movie is tackling inadequacy and feeling like it's going to be someone who's really good-looking and just be like, oh, I'm such a loser. Oh, can't believe I can't get the girl. And it's like, this is not realistic. In no way could you not get the girl.
If you're in a dystopian future and your hair is properly gelled back, you know, like, you're probably one of the few ones left that still can get any of the tail.
Be like John Hamm playing a loser or something. Like, you're the most handsome man on the planet. Stop this. Idris Elba comes up. I'm his loser friend. You're like, no! You're also one of the most attractive men on the planet. Stop this.
And then, oh god, a big one for me is, Mad Max main character.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Like Tom Hardy does, like, I'm so gruff. I'm like,
Tom Hardy's playing a high schooler who's like having a rough time. It's just not cool enough.
No,
that'd be great.
I'm sorry, Tom. I'm sorry.
Okay. They're fucking. I hate life. Castlevania producer Adi Shankar would like to develop a Metroid anime series next.
Not until you finish making probably about 200 more Castlevania episodes.
Well, he said, I'm working on Assassin's Creed. Right, I forgot. There's an Assassin's Creed anime being made.
Right,
There's a new story for you guys.
Yeah.
Lots has been decided, but I'm not going to reveal any of it. It's going to be dope. And then when he's asked if there was a Nintendo game he'd like to develop, he answered, Dark Metroid in the same anime style. So that'd be cool. I'm
down with it. I'm down with it. I'm not down with Assassin's Creed because I'm just sick and fucking tired of Assassin's Creed. Everything's been hoodied. I just can't take that fucking hood anymore. They sell it in sweaters now. It's a design style.
Yep.
But all that aside, I think he would do an amazing job doing the Metroid stuff because if anyone's out there hasn't seen the new Netflix Castlevania series, I highly recommend it. It was extremely good. For 4 episodes that are like 23 minutes long, 32 minutes long. Like, just so good. I'm not going to spoil anything. I just say go out there and watch it, guys. So I would definitely love to see him take on Metroid. Just, the thing is I don't want to get distracted. I want to see more fucking Castlevania. It ends on a cliffhanger, quote unquote. And I want, like, a whole solid season. Not just 4 episodes for season 2. I want, like, 8 or 10 to 12 episodes minimum.
Well, they did 4 as like a test bed, I would imagine.
They did
so,
as a test
like, so I mean,
those 4
at least
episodes,
8 next time.
Those 4 episodes literally play out like a movie. The second the episode ends, the next episode starts up like word afterwards. I was like, and we went to the click credits store. Like that's how it goes. It was a movie. They just broke it into 4.
That's what I've heard too. Yeah, movie that's been cut into 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, Metroid would be cool. And so there have been rumors for a while that Netflix is looking to bring Nintendo IPs into their streaming network. There was that like live action Legend of Zelda rumor from like last year, the year before.
I mean, I put this as a grain of salt just simply because even though Nintendo's getting better with releasing their properties, I don't think they would let someone else produce a show for them.
Yeah, I mean they did that once with the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah,
and that turned out great.
That went great. Considering one of the worst movies ever made.
I'm saying that unironically. I think that movie's fun. I enjoy the Super Mario Brothers movie. Not for a Super Mario Brothers movie, just as like its own thing. I'm just like, this is fucked. This is what you thought was okay?
I guess if you wanted to sit down and be like, I need to watch what was probably the, an hour and a half, 2 hour version of a car wreck.
Yeah, well, I mean, the king is like literal gross fungus on like a throne. Like I love
What does that even have to do with a dinosaur?
Like nothing has to do with, they were trying to make like Mario Blade Runner. It was just fucking stupid. Anyways, alright, you know what's fucking stupid? Amy Pascal. She's talking about the Venom movie again. Hey, every week we're gonna have a Venom movie update, so get ready, guys.
Amy Pascal's gonna take over fucking, Shane Black's position?
Maybe. So when promoting Spider-Man Homecoming with Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige, Sony exec Amy Pascal took a second to praise Ruben Fleischer, the director of the Venom project, which according to fandom will be rated R. Well, Ruben is a very talented, ironic, funny guy. He did a great job with Zombieland. So when you think of that mixed with Venom, I think that tells you what it should be.
No.
I like Zombieland a lot. And
it's an awesome movie.
Not once while I was watching it was I like...
This would be a Venom film.
This gives me strong Venom vibes.
If we could just stick... what's his name? The cowboy kind of main character in Zombieland? The actor?
Woody Harrelson?
Woody Harrelson. Like, if I'm watching this, I could just put Woody Harrelson in the Venom outfit.
Yeah.
Done! Like...
He likes Twinkies. Venom likes Twinkies. You've already ruined it. Yeah, this is just... I don't know what they're... fuck. Like, I'm so, like... I don't know what to feel about this movie.
I don't think that that's going to say that that's what the movie is. I think this woman is just... She can't shut up.
Yeah, they keep asking her, and she's just like, well, I'm going to answer unprompted, even though it seems like she's been in PR for a while. Like,
even her answers aren't even really totally correct, because she's all like, oh yeah, Venom is in the Marvel Universe, and it's with Spider-Man. And then everyone comes back and goes like, no. Like, just to elaborate, it's more like this. It's not quite what she said. Right?
Yeah.
So this is probably another case of that where you're just like...
Yeah, like, are we going to get a story in, like, 2 weeks from now and the director's going to come out and be like, nope, it's not that.
Yeah, because didn't they say it was rated R and everything, too? I mean, the Zombieland probably counts as rated R.
Yeah, I think it actually might be.
Maybe.
It's PG-13 probably.
Probably, I don't know. It's just got some blood and guts, and I don't know if it swears that much. But... for like a rated R film, it's going to be much darker than that, so I don't think it's going to be Zombieland. I think she's probably meaning that there's going to be comedy aspects in it, which is something I would like to tackle in comic book movies, is we don't need humor all the time anymore to diffuse whether or not it's still cool to go see a superhero movie, right? We used humor in all the original ones, like Iron Man and all that stuff, to try and like diffuse everyone sitting back who wasn't sure about going to a superhero movie and feeling like a nerd.
Well, and he's like, Iron Man is just like a quippy character. Mm-hmm. Tony Stark is a quippy character. It makes sense. Mm-hmm. When we saw Doctor Strange, one of my biggest complaints about it, if you can go back and listen to the Doctor Strange spoiler cast, I'd probably bitch about it there too, is like, I felt like he was just like joke a minute. Like he always had some like little smarmy thing to say, You know
what's funny? I just rewatched it last night, and I would have agreed with you more before, but I agree with you a little bit less now. I remember when we saw the movie together, we had some lady laughing her way through that whole thing, remember?
Yeah.
She laughed her way through the entire multiverse thing where he was falling through the multiverse. I rewatched that just now, and I'm like, that's so fucking cool. He's flying through the multiverse. So fucking cool, right? And she's sitting there going,
oh, yeah, she just found the entire thing entertaining.
Entertaining and funny. Like, every moment was
spirals,
just,
bright colors.
Everything was just, like, fucking someone jingling keys in front of her. He was smarmy in the beginning, and like, arrogant. And he had arrogant, dry, like, asshole jokes, maybe.
Yeah,
I think that's what got me.
Go watch Guardians 2. Same problem. Jokes every like 30 seconds. Like, and the thing is, like, a lot of them are funny and it works, but like,
but Guardians of the Galaxy is supposed to be funny. Like, they plotted the whole thing out as being like a joke.
I feel like they're all like that now. That's the thing. I feel like a lot of the Marvel movies have this, like, they're just constantly dropping jokes. And the thing is, like, I would say a good 70% of them work. Yeah. But there was many times in Guardians 2 specifically, I haven't seen Strange now since we saw it in theaters. Yeah. But in Guardians, where I was like, fuck, like, this could have been a serious moment. You should have just, like, cut before the joke. Just let the moment linger. It could have been a little bit more dramatic or affecting. Yeah. But they had to make some little, like, just a little joke. And I was just like, fuck, like, stop doing that.
It's totally a problem. And sometimes it's just not necessary, right? Like, we could just get a superhero movie. And, like, Black Panther, they didn't give him any form of sense of humor in Civil War. Like, if they start dropping, like, rap jokes or something, like, I don't know.
Well, that would be incredibly racist, but
no,
yeah, I don't think they'll do that.
I think they would go in that direction where they'd just be like, just dropping jokes for no reason.
So far, it doesn't look like Black Panther's going to be like that, which is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been, I don't want to say getting worse, but like, it seems like, they just have a need to constantly drop jokes just for, I don't know if they're maintaining levity or what it is. Like I said before, I'm with you, like, make a fucking comedy movie that happens to star a superhero. Make a Squirrel Girl movie where it's a comedy. And, like, it's mostly a comedy. There's some action, but, like, it's predominantly a comedy, second to superhero film, you know?
But Guardians is supposed to be predominantly a comedy. They set that up, right? Like, the whole thing, like, even in their dramatic scene where they're walking off to their big final battle, they're all yawning and burping and scratching their
Well, I mean,
armpits
he
and shit.
defeats the, spoiler alert, in the first Guardians, he defeats him with a dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to be funny. So, like, I can kind of excuse Guardians for being
Still not excused for moments that are supposed to be serious and you drop a joke. I don't like that at all.
I guess.
You know?
Yeah.
When you watch it, like, keep that in mind and just be like, oh yeah, that was supposed to be a serious moment where they just farted at the end of it. Like, you'd be like, my grandpa died. Like, am I supposed to feel bad for you now? That you're passing gas? Like, it's just some stuff like that where, like, I'm supposed to be taking this moment seriously and you're dropping a joke in the middle of it just to completely take everything out of it, you know?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Deflate the wind.
Oh, I mean, the whole realm of comedy is kind of messed up. I mean, fuck, The Martian was nominated for Best Comedy.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other can of worms, really. Jesus Christ, I forgot that happened. All right, next up is James Bond 25, Daniel Craig's 007 return secured. Adele wanted for the theme song. We're not talking about that.
No.
The big line in here is Daniel Craig's return as James Bond, because if you remember correctly, back in, I think it was October of last year, yep, he said, I'd rather slash my wrist than play James Bond again.
Yeah. But then no one hired him, so he's back to playing James Bond.
He also followed that up by saying, it would only be for the money.
I know he's in people's bad books right now for that kind of stuff he said, and now suddenly he's back into being James Bond, so this movie's probably going to tank just based on that alone. However, I always loved, like, until that moment where he started doing that, I loved Daniel Craig's James Bond. His movies were amazing. And
yeah, they're good.
He's an incredible James Bond. He's a handsome man, totally pulls off the British spy thing. Everything's working out great. You know, like, this is probably going to literally finally be his last movie, and then they'll reinvent the franchise again.
Idris Elba as Bond. Let's do it.
Yeah, I would actually love that. You know what? Everyone's like, oh, make a female Bond. I understand, but I would think it would be almost more poignant to make him ethnic in some fashion. Right?
Or Ashton Kutcher.
No.
Calso from that 70s show in a spy comedy. I can picture it now.
Plus, he's done acting. He's all like business, making billions, doing apps and shit.
Wow, you've not been following Ashton Kutcher's career closely because he's in the terrible show on Netflix, The Ranch, with former That 70s Show alum. What's his fucking name? Hyde. Whoever played Hyde.
You just kind of solidified my point.
You know who'd make a cool female James Bond?
Oh, actually, I'll go with that.
Sigourney Weaver!
Yeah, totally. I'll just put her in everything.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver. Yeah, exactly. Mike, put her in everything. Me, put her in most things. So Ridley Scott is considering plans to connect Ripley into the Alien prequel films.
But I hate this. This is a precursor.
So Ridley Scott's run of Alien prequel films is bumping up within a couple decades of the first Alien, and it sounds like he's already brainstorming ideas to loop the character of Ellen Ripley back into the fold to bring it into a full circle.
No.
In a recent interview, Scott said it'd probably be 2 films until he was able to start trying Ripley or Ripley's mother into the story. Catherine Waterston Daniels was briefly considered to be Ripley's mother, though Scott vetoed that idea to make Daniels a different character. For those crunching the numbers, Covenant takes place in 2103, which puts it 19 years before the events of the first Alien.
You know he would have done this in the other previous films already if Blomkamp wasn't already kind of like trying to take Ripley away and make his own film again with her. But now that Blomkamp's been blown out of the water, he's like, now I can use her. And just don't, because fuck, we don't need to do this. Like, you don't.
Here's a comment from Ridley Scott. Well, we're heading towards the back end of the first Alien, so that may be feasible, but Ripley's going to be somebody's daughter, obviously, because you're coming in from the back end, right? Well, that's a weird quote. And you know, the time constraints between this film where we leave David going off tending for that colony, I think you're probably 2 films out from even considering her. He's going to go, oh no. So, where's the fucking CG comment as well? Anyway, he also wants to, like, CG Ripley or something. Like, what is he doing?
Why would you... she's alive, but I know she's older, but... and CGing her in, like, that's already controversial on its own, and it was with a person who's dead.
Yeah.
Like... When you start replacing real actors, this is where things get scary.
Or maybe he wants to bring Sigourney Weaver in and, like, de-age her face to make her look young or something. Like, I don't know.
Still.
Well, I mean, that's more fine. They do that to all the Marvel actors. Just de-age them. Robert Downey Jr. What's his face from Ant-Man?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they have him looking young. I bitched about this before. I hate when universes are all tied up into a nice little package. It makes everything seem so much smaller to me. Like, the example I always go to use is the fucking Ninja Turtles. Bad example, I know. But let me hear me out. Ninja Turtles originally they were just fucking 4 turtles fell into a sewer and with some ooze, and a rat from Japan raised them and taught them kung fu. Great. And then they went upstairs to the big boy world, and they met a reporter named April O'Neil, and life happens, right? In the new movies, it's like April owned the turtles and the rat, and then lost them for 19 years, and then like they come back, and the first human they meet is April, and what are the odds of that? Everything came back together. Yeah, it's shit like that where I'm like, come on, like, no, that's not how it has to be.
Well, I mean, I'm not so against it, but I do understand the sensation of making it small. Like, if the whole cycle of the aliens and the whole fear of them, like, they are these grander larger than life, literally Geiger made creatures that are supposed to represent a lot of base internal horror for every human, right? Tackling and dysmorphing and warping pregnancy and birth and life and the cycle of life, and then also the same thing as the monster in the dark, the unknown, that the creature from nowhere. And that's what made Alien 1 so scary, was like when aliens hadn't really been tackled as a horror in space yet, there was this black, dark creature that had never been seen before in the dark coming out after you and hunting you, right? The unknown monster from nowhere that you have no clue where it came from, how it is, and why it works, right? And the more and more you explain it, the less and less scary it gets. But you get this whole origin story for the aliens that's happening throughout all of these films. Like, they're far less scary. They're going to become literally not scary if the whole cycle is like, with the makers and the stuff that happens in these movies, and then it meets up that it turns out that one of the crew members was Ripley's mother, and then had Ripley, so it's this cycle
and she was destined
to fight them.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole Ripley saga from there, is that Ripley in that line is going to, and then that means they're going to make more movies afterwards, that Ripley's daughter is going to fight them. Like, the Ripley line fights, fucking no. Yeah. This now makes this into a pure action film.
Yeah.
And the mystery and horror and magnetism of the aliens literally become lost, and they're no longer these mystical, horrific creatures that we like to worship. They become a symbol that's just another monster. So this whole entire thing is just a recipe to destroy what's left of the monster that we all love. It's like taking Geiger's entire creation, lighting it on fire above his grave, like dancing above it, salting it, and then like peeing on it, and then probably like digging him all back up and like dancing with him, and then like sticking him, like just everything you could do to horribly disgrace his creation.
I was gonna say, let's end it there, because that was a really eloquent way to put it, and then you brought up rolling in a grave with a dead man. Nevertheless, I agree.
I'm a classy fella.
Yeah. That's Popcast in a nutshell. Class, then sass. All right, next up, we're going to get some gaming news.
Woohoo.
Michael Pachter, the video games analyst, has been in this industry for quite some time. He used to have the show Pack Attack. PS5 to be a half step, releasing in 2019 with PS4 backwards compatibility.
This is a guess, right?
Yeah, he's an analyst.
Okay.
His job is literally to guess. Like, that's what his job is.
Okay, because it sounds like a bad guess.
The PlayStation 4... Sorry, this is what he said. The PlayStation 4 Pro is better from a technical perspective than the PS4, so I think that's a half step towards the PlayStation 5. I think the PS5 will be another half step. How much faster can it be? It will surely support 4K. Will it support 240 frames per second? Great. Will it play games that were made from the PlayStation 4 Pro? That's the question. I think it will. My expectation is that it's not coming out in 2018. That is a 2019 or 2020, but probably 2019. So yeah, Pachter's an analyst, and he's been in this industry for a long time. He's had a lot of bad guesses, and he's had a lot of on-the-nose guesses. He's, fairly hit and miss.
I think this is a weird guess to try and make. I mean, end of 2019 is possible, I would say. Like, possible. However, we also just reported on that news story where Sony said that it's a long time coming, right?
Sure. We texted about this, though, and I said, like, someone's like, hey, is PS5 in development? They're probably going to be like, is it coming out soon? They're probably going to be like, coming out in 2 months. They'd be like, no. They're not going to say.
No. But I mean, like, being outright and saying it's a long time coming, and I believe that this cycle is going to take longer. With the Pro, I think the intention with the Pro was to actually extend this cycle longer than the last one.
That's the thing. It'd be weird if PS4 Pro releases and about a year and a half later they announce the PS5.
Yeah.
And the Xbox family, let's say.
Yeah.
The Xbox family just releasing the Xbox One X, they'll be even further out from that. They'll be like, we just fucking released this thing. Yeah. We don't want to start the new generation already, but they'd be forced to, you know, with that to keep up if they wanted games on their platform.
And I don't think that either of the companies is trying to start that kind of cycle or argument. Plus, I don't think there's a market for purchasers who would purchase and adopt that quickly, and especially with the gaming market, who are so sensitive to consoles. You know, so I don't think it would be the smartest move for them to move in this fashion. You know, I think literally my whole impression of the market right now is that they released the Xbox One and the PS4 Pro to gap the bridge because there's a longer dev period before that. Also because technology right now is almost in a standstill. Like, if you take a look at laptops and stuff like that, like my mother just went out and bought a new laptop. Yay, good for her, right? She compared the tech specs from that one to her 3-year-old laptop. Wasn't a huge improvement, but this thing is like latest tech. It has all the fancy new screen and everything. It's a little bit more compact. It has a solid state drive, sure, but the power of the machines aren't really getting much further because we have a problem with the processors getting too close together and creating too much heat. And we haven't solved that literal science issue.
How many times have we done that before?
So we can't cram any more processors in, and also the technology itself like isn't even using all 8 all the time. So like you having 20 processors isn't going to make a difference. We have no more room to cram them in. So we have a technological like hurdle to cross, and which is maybe even all the way to quantum computing comes up next. But like whatever that step is, rushing through to the next generation isn't going to do anything. Like we're good where we're at for a little while.
My biggest concern about this whole thing would be if this does happen, I feel like we'd get a longer period of those fucking games where it's like, remember earlier, like it's happened like 3 generations in a row now, I think, like where they do the 2 versions. It's like, I think Destiny even did this. Destiny had a PS3 version and a PS4 version, and an Xbox 360 and an Xbox One version, and it hampers the game because they have to keep it like content comparable with the older, shittier version on the old consoles.
Shittier games.
So you're just getting a new gen game with like it looks shinier, but it's being held back by the previous gen's version. Like, and I hate that.
That's part of
the cycle so much.
It's part of the reason why Destiny sucked too, right? Because they contained and restrained a lot of their content to make it workable on an older system. So they removed half their content to be like, well, we have to ditch this because the PS3 can't handle it.
Evil Within had a bunch of frame rate problems on the next gen consoles. It was even worse on last gen because they had to do like a bunch of sacrifices to make it even work on there. And it's just like, fuck, like I just hate that selfishly. I hate that part of the cycle when it's just a bunch of games coming out double releases.
I don't think it's selfish. It's just because, like, you know what? Developers have to work on whatever console is the latest console. They have to build towards that, and they have to build towards the latest technology. Making them have to work between two because you decided your product needs to release like before your cycle's really done and the content's done, and you haven't planned it out correctly. That's not right. You know, so no matter what company it is, it's not selfish. It's just like let's think about this correctly, right?
Yeah, I always just hate that shit. Yeah. I could see it being announced in 2019, maybe late 2019 or something, and then maybe it comes out 2020 or who knows,
21 something. But yeah,
I can see that. It's hard to see it coming out in 2019 at this point.
No,
but maybe, who fucking knows? We'll never know.
Yeah.
Next up is Crash Bandicoot N.Sane Trilogy is the biggest single platform launch of the year.
Yay.
It's launched exclusively for PlayStation 4. It's the biggest single platform release of the year so far, beating even Horizon Zero Dawn. For 2017 to date, Crash is the year's second biggest launch overall, behind the multi-platform release Ghost Recon Wildlands, which sold great. It's the #1 selling game this year. That's fucking crazy.
So, why is it crazy to you?
Because it's fucking Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be crazy. Like, that makes sense.
No!
Yes.
Who cares about Crash?
Everyone.
I didn't think so.
Oh.
At all.
I knew so.
I thought that, this would, a bunch of hardcore gamers would really enjoy this, and it would not, the mainstream would not give a fuck.
So I guess that's the difference in my perspective. So the people in my life who I would call, it's not even casual gamers, they're just social gamers, I guess you would call them. Like my sister, she never sat down and played any particular game hardcore at any point, but she's played a lot of games, right? My friend, or actually one of Pens and Pixels co-chair, Tara, she makes games for a living, but she's also a full-time mother and a full-time job. She doesn't get to play games that often, so the last game I think she finally finished was Fallout 4. So she doesn't play that often, but she's playing Crash. They all remember Crash. There was this huge fervor behind loving him. And actually, funny enough, a massive female demographic loved him.
Sure. I get loving Crash. I liked Crash back in the day. I just didn't think I knew there was fervor for him, but again, I just thought it was a vocal minority of hardcore people.
Yeah, no, I was expecting this to do extremely well. I didn't think it was going to do
that well.
I didn't think it was going to go like literally beating Horizon.
I thought it would have been like top 10 one month, like it would be 10, and then it would fall off the charts.
Oh no, I thought it was going to
chart again.
I thought it was going to maintain. What I'm impressed with though is that the work that they have done is impressed people that much.
Oh, people love it. I really want to play this game actually. So don't get me wrong, I'm just very surprised about the sales.
I was surprised. I thought they would fuck it up.
So what do you? But yeah, apparently they've done a great job. Like, so what do you think this means for the future of remasters like this? So I guess this is weird. This is a remake and a remaster at the same time. You know, it's like new shiny graphics. It is built from the ground up in that way, but it's using the old engine as the like base for it. So it feels like the old game. Do you think we're getting a Spyro?
I think that
I think this is definitely opening the door for.
This is Sony being like all of our old because Sony never really got a lot of. Not in the way that Nintendo or even Xbox with Halo got a what is it called, a mascot? You know, like they tried Crash, they tried with Spyro, they tried with
Lara Croft,
they tried with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And soon Sony's whole entire image was always like you would come up and be like Nintendo, and Mario would jump at you, then PlayStation, and their entire team would just jump out of the screen.
Yeah.
You're like, and they'd be like, look at all the characters we have. And you're like, but I don't know if I like any one of them. I think with this now they're going to try and make their IPs great again by bringing back Spyro and etc.
Yeah, I wonder what we're going to get, like a cavalcade of shit like this. Yes, I think for a little while.
But I also think what it might also do, which would be interesting to see, is new games. We'll definitely be getting a new Crash game.
I think so, and I
want to see another Jak and Daxter.
I think this developer will probably get a chance to work on a Crash 4 or something. You know, like. And they deserve it. Like they've done a great job. It seems like so.
And we'll probably see Jak and Daxter come back, which I would love to see. I forget which one. I think it was 2. Was the one with the city, and you could like steal the bikes and shit.
Yeah,
I fucking love that game.
They're all good. That's the thing. They're all Jak and Daxter are all good games.
Yeah,
Jak 1 to 3.
Yeah, they were awesome. So like I expect to see having all that stuff come back, and I'm excited to see that come back because I actually find that in gaming, the old cartoon style characters are dead. And I want to see that style come back into gaming. Everything's about realism. Everything's about how brown something is. Everything is about how realistic the engine.
To be fair, brown was really last generation.
It's true.
You know,
it's true.
Like we were getting better with color. Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes.
For one.
No, but it's true. But
you're right. There was a very intense like realism and gritty, and look at how fucking many scar tissues this man has.
Yeah, and every game that comes out at E3 that like takes up the screen and they do this big thing is usually this big visual cavalcade of a camera panning around. Look how pretty our environment is. Look how human our humans look. Look how human everything is. And that's great, and I love that shit. I don't want it to go away, but I do miss the cartoony styles of the original.
And the thing is, this doesn't have to be a big AAA thing. No. This is, you know, maybe this and Sonic Mania are going to be like a new generation of this, right? Sonic Mania looks like an old school Sonic game. It's built by old school Sonic fans. These guys are fans of Crash. And if they make Crash 4, it would need to be in this style, in this kind of engine, and they would make the Crash 4 everyone wants. They wouldn't make this big 3D world where Crash has fucking tribal tattoos on him and shit.
And turns into a bear or something.
Turns into Bandicrash. So yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Fingers crossed for a fucking Spyro remaster. That's the one I really want.
That's the one I want. Jak and Daxter and Spyro are equal in my mind. So the other one I would like one, but I want those because those are the ones I want to go back and play.
Yeah,
I like Crash, but it was just a platformer to me. But Spyro was just too much fun.
Crash is $40, and I bet it's gonna go down in price. So
it's gonna be like 19.
When it goes down to like 19, I'll consider playing it.
Yes.
Next up is Cyberpunk 2077 news. We got some hints on playable classes. Ooh. I won't read you the whole quote. They basically said that all the classes in the tabletop RPG, Cyberpunk 2020, is going to be in the game.
Which is interesting, because Cyberpunk has some interesting classes.
They got Solo,
yeah,
Nomad, Techie, Netrunner, Rocker Boy, Fixer, Media. Cop.
So yeah, I think that they've got some very interesting classes in here. These classes could easily be just like your usual, like, I don't know, like the Nomad, your Hunter class, traditional range class, or some shit like that. But there's also just such a weird variety behind what they're called, like Media, which looks like a camera robot?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. So, again, we don't really know anything about... Oh, no, it's just a man with a camera. So we don't really know anything about what Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be at this point.
Yeah.
But, so you're thinking, like, we're going to get to play as a cameraman or a cop.
Maybe.
What I was thinking was there's just going to be a generic character. Maybe you customize him, maybe you don't. You don't. Maybe he's just a man. And you get to pick his class. And, like, let's say if you're a techie, you get, like, plus 20% to hacking. And that's it. You know?
I don't think it's going to go that low. I think you're going to actually pick a class. Kind of like you pick a Titan or a Hunter or a Warlock in Destiny kind of thing.
Or like in Mass Effect, like a fucking
I mean, like
soldier or whatever.
Yeah. Cyberpunk has such an interesting lore and world around it. Like, whatever these classes are supposed to be. Like, Rocker Boy? What the fuck? Are you going to... I mean, people were running around, like, ramming their mics down your throat or something?
Maybe. Rocker Boys are rebellious musicians who use music and revolt to fight authority. They are a lot like 80s punk rockers who look down on corporate sellouts as the traitors to the craft. Because they're so charismatic, they can sway, incite, and charm a large number of people through musical performances.
So like a bard from D&D or something.
So like plus 20 to charm.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's going to be like a perk you get at the beginning of the game.
I want it to be more because I would like it to actually... Because like, you know how much I like visual storytelling. I've gone over this with Destiny often enough, and after I saw Anthem, my head exploded. Mm-hmm. But like, I wanted to decide what my character is going to look like, how they move, what their actions are going to be, so that I feel like a rocker boy. I hope they change the
And
names.
don't we all just want to play as rocker boys?
Yeah.
No, I bet they keep the name.
But the thing is, like, some of these are just so odd, like media. Like, if you're going to be a cameraman, like, your whole job is just to run around and, like, record people like a pervert.
No, again, you'd probably have the same storyline as everybody else, but you'd get plus 20 to talk. Talk stat or something, like, you know.
Yeah. But even if it means abilities, you know, like, what do? You
record people.
You zoom in with like an X-ray camera and just really get them uncomfortable.
That's you two to fight. You just make people incredibly uncomfortable.
They're all like running at you, like, he's like, he won't stop.
Instead of an attack button, you have like, I'm uploading this to YouTube. They're like, no.
If you try this, we will press send.
Media can range from desperate, attention-loving sensationalists to demagogues, but the playable ones are usually credible and outspoken mavericks in a world overrun by corporate-owned media strawmen. As they maintain their credibility as relevant journalists, people believe what they are saying, even if there's no facts to back up what they are saying. Oh, okay. So special ability is credibility.
This is going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, who knows where this fucking game's going to go. I really hope we see it soon.
It's just like you're about to get attacked, and you're like, but I'm not a bad guy. They all stop. Well, he's really credible.
Yeah,
His sources are always really good. Maybe he's not a bad guy. I'm really not. Well, if he says so. So, anyways, it's really interesting. And I suggest taking a look at all of these classes and just looking at the style and design and what they've got going on and what they're supposed to mean. I mean, like a techie is a little bit more like, you know, a ranged technician to cybernetic specialist. They usually underground techies. Like, I get what this guy's going to do.
Yeah, this would make sense.
Yeah, like that makes more sense. A cop is a cop, like, you know, but when it comes down to like in-game mechanics, what the heck does a netrunner do?
Special ability, gun. Special ability, gun boy.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting. I'm really interested to see where they take this, especially considering how what is that called? Not the norm, not the status quo.
Yeah, not the status quo.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. All right. Last story is a sad one. Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, delayed until January 2018.
I didn't even know about this until I showed up.
They cite the reason being they want more polish on the game. I think the reason is more likely to the back end of this year's packed, and it won't sell if it releases it alongside next to those.
Definitely call bullshit on it needing more dev time. I mean, it's not that high end of a game.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's a high end game that needs polish. I don't think they were going to release in November, and they're going to release in January now. Yeah. They have like a month and a half extra. Yeah. Like,
what are they going to do?
You're going to press the discs a little nicer? Like, I don't understand what you think you're going to do in that time, you know?
No, it's definitely because if you look at October, you've got 2 of the Bethesda games in there. You've got fucking Mario Odyssey. You've got fucking everything. So there's no way that they're a contender because they're just not. Their market is very niche. So they're pushing it off to avoid that. Even though pushing it off until January is not a good idea because January is packed.
January's not too packed, but we'll get into that next segment where we go over all the games coming up for the rest of this year and the beginning of next. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the second segment of the Pens and Pixels podcast. The rest of the year segment.
We're going to be breaking down all of the games, most of the games that are coming out in 2017, so that you guys can prep yourselves for when and what they are.
Yeah, and what you're going to buy, what you're not going to buy. We're going to comment on what we're going to play, what we're not going to play. You always got to make sacrifices in times of crisis like this. There's a couple games we're not going to be covering. It's games that we're either very not interested in or which just wouldn't have commentary on.
Yeah.
So like Call of Duty, like neither of us are Call of Duty players. I don't even know. It's the World War II one this year.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be good. Who knows? Other one was Life is Strange is another pretty big one that's coming out. I think this is the one that's not by the original developers.
I think so.
This is like the prequel one. So I'm not even sure if this is the one that people are necessarily looking forward to.
No. But we don't have enough commentary on those titles ourselves to be like, hey, this is like, take our opinion in. We'd probably just be like, I don't play those. That sucked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's better just skip over them.
Yep.
But let's start with August 2017.
Mm-hmm.
August 2nd, 2017.
Coming up soon.
We get Tacoma.
Yeah, it's indie-ish.
Yeah, indie-ish. This is by the Gone Home guys, I believe.
I think so.
And it is a walking simulator in space.
Yep.
Kind of giving me Bioshocky vibes, but also that game you played vibes. Adrift?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, very strongly like that. It's like...
Oh, it's Adrift. Totally. But Adrift even had more mechanics than this.
So I only included this one on the list because I was still unsure if this is something you wanted to play.
Not anymore. Also, I think it's an Xbox-only exclusive now.
Oh, is it?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is.
You might be right.
If it isn't, I mean, I would probably sit down and want to play something like that. But when I first saw Tacoma, I was more interested in it because I thought there'd be more interesting mechanics. Because I thought it played up on the whole zero-G like world a little bit more. And also, I liked it in this fantasy sci-fi setting that was in the future.
You're right. It is Linux, Microsoft Windows, Mac OS, and Xbox One.
Yeah. But when I saw the gameplay footage of it, it's literally like King's Quest. You walk around, you interact with stuff in the rooms, and then you get your story, and you get to the end of it. Like, that's it. So I'm not sure if I really want to play a game like that. It looks cool, and I love sci-fi. I love zero-G stuff. I love like the whole space component of it. I think this will make a really fun VR game for someone, but...
This is one of those ones where, like, I'm not really paying it much mind now, but if it gets stellar reviews and people are saying that, like, they did Gone Home again or something, that this might be a good one actually for us to cover, like, if it's getting rave reviews or something.
For sure.
You know?
And if it's a short game, like, if it's really fucking long because you got to, like, sift around through all that stuff for a long time. No, because, like, that's why Firewatch worked. Like, Firewatch is actually kind of boring mechanics-wise, but it was, like, 3-4 hours long.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We got through it both, like, I think I got through it in two play sessions the same day.
Yeah, so. I think I got it done just in one night, yeah.
Next up is Hellblade's Senua's Sacrifice on August 8th.
Yeah.
Coming up real soon. This is probably the next game I'm going to play.
I'm really interested in it because this has an interesting dev story, which you guys can go look up. But, you know, I was really excited because it's an interesting game. It's got great visuals.
Great visuals. Ninja Theory is always good with visuals.
Yeah. And I like the whole like craziness thing. I hope that plays in a lot. Only thing is the original footage that they used to have for the gameplay for the combat looked really cool. And then the last few rounds of videos for the combat just looked like Devil May Cry hack and slashy, but like less interesting.
Interesting. I don't remember seeing combat in the latest trailers. They're the ones that I've watched at all.
I saw two, and I don't think they were trailers. I think it was just footage.
Oh, was it just footage? Okay. The last trailers I saw were very focused on like the atmosphere and the like environments and stuff.
I don't know if they were full.
They did say something about like that they were gonna go for a little more action heavy of a game before, and then now they've like reworked it to be more with the story where like there is action and there is down parts and there is exploration, you know, kind of a little bit of everything. Whatever the story dictates at the moment, like that's what you're going to be doing. But they're not forcing action into places where just for an action beat, you know.
What I would like is what I kind of saw from the first one was like a lot of sword colliding and like, you know, like she's really having to fight this monster and it was like a struggle and it was like, you know, take out this one thing. And then, like, rather than what it looked like in one of the gameplay videos I saw where it was just her, like, basically pressing X a bunch of times and skeletons were just dropping like flies, you know. It's just, again, I'm not against that in any fashion for any game. However, with this, I want, since it's got such a deep story mechanic behind it, I don't want it to just be like, you know, oh, it's so tough and so hard, I'm going crazy, fucking crazy shit, and then suddenly just slashy, slash, 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 slash. What threatens you?
That's a good point. I didn't think that's where you're going with it, but that's a good point. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. I'm very interested in their take on mental health and like what is going on in her head in this game.
For sure.
If only for the visuals alone. I'm hoping the story will be good. They had a cool story in that fucking game that's based off of Tale of the West or whatever it's called, the one that Dragon Ball Z's or Dragon Ball's originally
Journey to the West.
Journey to the West.
Yeah.
They did their own riff on that.
Oh, I don't know.
It was called Fuck.
I don't know.
It wasn't called Fuck.
It's called Fuck.
It was called Enslaved, Odyssey to the West. Yeah, okay. So it was a take on that. And that one had a cool story. Some people like Heavenly Sword story about her and her sister. I didn't really
There's a girl who wants to play Twing Twang.
Yes, yeah. Some people like that. I didn't personally care for it. I didn't like Heavenly Sword in general. I thought it was pretty bad. Devil May Cry had an embarrassing story. Like, even more so than the regular games.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
I'm like, what are you so worried about? In one of the games, he wrote a pizza.
Yeah, no, but like those games are like kind of up their own ass, but like in a like an anime tropey way.
Yeah.
This one was like it played it way more like seriously. It had a lot of like we're being corrupted by media, and it was like what? Like what the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, shit like that was stupid. But I'm looking forward to this one. This August 8th. That's so soon. It's in like a month. Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It's a good timing for it too.
Mentally preparing myself because this is probably gonna be the one I play in August.
Yeah.
Then a week after that, August 15th, we're getting Sonic Mania.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is going to be another case. If you don't know, Sonic Mania is the Sonic game that is being developed by old Sonic fans, and Sega let them take a crack at it. And it looks like it's going to be like the Sonic the Hedgehog 4 that we've always wanted.
Yeah, basically.
Like it's a super Genesis looking fucking Sonic game. You're going fast. Mm-hmm. You gotta go fast.
You're a fast hog.
But I feel like this one is going to be another one where like I want to play it. I do. I like classic Sonic. I might skip this one until it's cheaper. Like, I don't know how much it's going to be. Probably 40. Probably
I won't play it. I mean, I'm a Sonic fan in the way that I played them when I was younger, and I really enjoyed them, but I've never had a craving to return to playing those games. So, for me...
I always have this, like, heartache to want to play, like, an old-school platformer. Like, but then I just go play Shovel Knight. I love Shovel Knight. It's the best, like, platformer they've released in ages.
I have this thing, like, right now, I really need an action game. All I really can do is, like, play Overwatch just for, like, an hour or something before I go to bed. And I'm really tired of, like, playing against people, because people are fucking dumb. So, like, I want to play something where I'm, like, having some sort of action. I also want to stop shooting things, because it seems like every game I play right now everyone has a gun. And instead, I would just like to have, like, a sword again or something. Mm-hmm. But every good slasher I can remember that I ever enjoyed are so old that this doesn't work.
Yeah, you're not going to want to go back and play those things.
No.
Then after that is Uncharted Lost Legacy on August 22nd, just a week after.
I'm interested in this one. I just won't pay the full game price that they're asking.
$40?
No. I already played Uncharted. I've already gotten that. I liked that game a lot. Considering how much I disliked the franchise, I liked the last one a lot. I beat it. I had a good time. Voice acting was incredible. Story was written really well. I mean, we know who directed it. And
I believe it was your game of the year last year, I think?
No.
Wasn't it?
Oh, I don't think so.
I thought it was.
Maybe. But it was great. I liked it a lot. But since this is just literally the same game with new skin characters and a new story, which is exciting and interesting and everything like that, just like a DLC for Horizon, and I'm interested in getting my hands on that, which I'm surprised isn't actually in this release list. I'm sure it's supposed to be out this year.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't on there.
No.
Yeah, it is supposed to be on here.
Yeah. I'm just not running for it, so like I'll wait until the price drops, or it comes bundled or some shit, and I'll just get it.
Then after Uncharted, the week after that, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Which was the most unlikely possible high success ever.
Yeah, super weird. This game, I mean, I'm sure you know if you're listening to the podcast, but like, everyone was making fun of this game before when all the stuff leaked. They were like, a fucking Mario and Rabbids game? That's going to be annoying. What a dumb thing. Mm-hmm. And then it got revealed at E3 and everyone was like, oh, that actually looks really good. Because it's XCOM, but with Mario and Rabbids. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? I just picked up a Switch. That would be a perfect Switch game to play on the couch, you know, like just a little XCOM game. I love XCOM. I don't know if I'm going to want to pick that one up right away, but Nintendo games never also go down in price, so I might just have to pay the full $60 whenever I get it, but I am very interested in it. And I might actually pick that one up if I have to go home for Christmas or something, and, you know.
I think I'm trying to find a game for an excuse for me to pick up a Switch, right? And Zelda is not it for me. I've watched so much footage of that game just to try and see if there was something to make me want to buy it. Nothing.
Zelda's pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Can't do it. So I'm trying to, because I want to buy a Switch, but the game I really am looking forward to is Mario. So I'm like,
that's coming up on the list soon.
I've never played Splatoon though.
Splatoon's very, very fun.
But is it a multiplayer game?
It can be.
It can be, but you can play it without.
Yeah. It has a single player mode and it has a multiplayer mode.
Is single player mode worth it?
I don't know. I've never played single player.
Well,
I've only played multiplayer.
Okay, so it's not worth it.
Well, I never had a chance.
Yeah.
That's not like an indictment against it. Like I played it at a friend's house. You know.
Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out what kind of games I'm going to get on it, and this Mario plus Rabbids one.
I feel like if you have Overwatch though, there's no way that Splatoon is going to drag you out of Overwatch.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle could be the game that fills it in, because it does look strangely like a lot of fun.
It is. Did you ever play the XCOM games? You like that kind of strategy thing, right? Like Final Fantasy Tactics-ish. Like
I know
battles.
I have played an XCOM. I can't remember which one it was.
Probably one of the old PC ones then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think I played any of the two new ones that were like really huge.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah.
Well, ones are good. I never played two yet.
I heard it's quite good too as well.
Yes, I heard that too. I want that one to go on sale before I buy it.
Yeah.
Then, also, you know what, just throw it in fucking here. Horizon, Frozen Wilds. The land that's cold.
Did you just have a stroke?
The chilly trail. Horizon. The chills. It's giving it wasn't actually on the list that I pulled all these games from, but it is listed as a fall 2017 game, so we're putting it at the end of August.
I am playing this.
yes, this
like,
is for sure.
This is not happening.
For sure, this is.
It's supposed to be like 30 hours.
No.
Like 20 to 30 hours or something extra.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was just a side story.
Really? Yeah, I didn't see that. That'd be fucking crazy.
I can't remember, but they said it was like.
I wonder if that's
more
just
than
like.
10.
I wonder if that's just like we added like 18 hours worth of trials.
It could be. It could be, but it's supposed to be the entire exploration of the Bannock, right? So the tribe that you never really got to see much of, and for some reason a few of them joined you at the end battle, even though you like interacted with them twice.
Don't say too much.
No, but it's an entire exploration of them, and then you trying to get to this mountain, which has another giant machine secret inside. I don't know everything about this.
They're adding a couple new dino robots or whatever.
I don't care. I just want to play more Horizon.
Yes, and Mike has to go and play Horizon over again.
But I don't want to do just simply because I don't want to redo the cauldrons and re-walk through all those fucking labs.
The cauldrons will be fun. The labs. Labs are probably the worst part.
And I have to redo everything, so I have to go back and rehunt all the fucking flowers.
Yeah,
and...
it's because like if you had a 100% completed game, you don't want to go back into not 100% completed game. Yeah, I understand that feeling. I get that. If you don't know, so Mike's PS4 just died. It just fucking
and it was like $300 to like repair it and bring it back to life, so I could get my information off of it, or buy a PS4 for $400. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go get myself a Pro.
Yeah,
fuck this.
No, you made the right call.
Yeah. And now I'm just having to redo it. It's the only one I really have to redo. I've had a couple others, like Andromeda, where I'm like, I want to replay Andromeda to play the DLC stuff that came out on it, or the patches.
Oh, yeah.
And see the difference in the changes, because like you can romance other characters you couldn't romance before, but I'm not replaying Andromeda.
No. Yeah, so yeah, for sure we're both playing Horizon Frozen Wilds. I'm probably like for sure going to be playing Hellblade. I'm just going to go over August for right now.
Hellblade and Horizon whenever that comes out.
Yeah, we're just putting it at the end of August for now. Yeah. That is not for sure. It just says fall 2017.
And in my maybe category will be Mario Rabbids.
And that's in mine maybe as well. The other three, Uncharted, Sonic Mania, and Tacoma, probably not going to play anytime soon.
No, I'll do that when I'm in another lull and I'm like, oh.
September 2017. September 6th, 2017. Destiny 2.
No.
We all know what that game is. We don't have to explain it at all.
No. But I haven't seen anything in it. So I've actually been keeping myself up to date on the content.
I have not.
So I looked at all the new character classes and the changes they made. Mm-hmm. So as a summation, the new character classes all get one new extra ability, right? And it's just to a class. So I can't fucking remember what the Hunters... Oh, the Hunters one was like a roll, like a dodge roll. Okay. Mm-hmm. The fucking tanks, the Titan, get this like kind of like hazy white kind of shield thing, like they do this like kind of motion and then it puts up like a wall in front of them that's like mobile cover.
Okay,
you know, cool. Which is cool. And then the warlocks get a field they throw on the ground that heals them and restores their energy or some shit.
Just them?
Just the warlocks. Oh no, the whole team. The whole team.
Oh, okay, so anyone can go in and get healed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like this new mechanic they've added in that sense. But the rest of the abilities, like they didn't, I don't think, add any new grenades that I've seen of any kind. Maybe one for the new like solar warlock, So there's nothing new in the abilities. The animations are all basically the same. Nova Bomb for the Voidwalker Warlock is like a giant ball that shoots out in homes and shoots lightning bolts out of it and shit. Like nothing huge has changed. And then I looked at the rest of the game and the rest of the footage from that. Guns are the guns as per usual. Some of them are pretty creative, some of them aren't. And then I looked at new enemies and new stuff like that. Nothing new there. I couldn't find.
Oh, that sucks.
Couldn't find anything like. I mean, nothing new in the way that it broke the mold from what I've seen already in every single.
Okay, so there's like
expansion.
a new enemy design, but it's just another man that shoots a gun.
Yeah, like you're fighting the Cabal for most of the time in this one because it's the main enemy of this,
Yeah.
and like they're just the Cabal, but some of them have different armor on, and maybe you can use a rocket launcher instead or some shit. And then like I looked over the PvP stuff, all still basically the same. The new weapon systems sound a little bit dumb to me for like how they've changed the classes and shit, which I don't get. And then I tried to be like, well, maybe they're doing more on the side. So they do promise more story. Like, apparently it's a huge focus on it, which is, like, great. But then I looked at, like, the new social space. And I listened to this guy try and sell this social space, this amazing new dynamic thing. Now, what is cool is, like, as you rescue more of humanity after the whole thing happened, right? Apparently the social space town, like, new buildings get built and more players, more NPCs show up and shit.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But after that, they're like, oh, there's really fun ways of, like, buying time, and where I'm like, what does that mean? So like, there's a soccer field in here that you can play soccer.
Fuck that.
And I'm like, what? And you could just play soccer, like it's just like the ball, like in the original one, except for you can actually use it to score now, and you just like, but there's no saying like you assign a team. Anyone can come along and just start fucking with your soccer game.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they're like, oh, and then we have other things that are, and he literally called it a diversionary tactic, where you can go around in town and find ways of like making yourself like do a task, and then you'll like have a glowing trail behind you when you move or something to look cooler than everyone else, and everyone's going to go around and try and figure out how you got that.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, you literally just called it a diversionary tactic. You literally just said your players are going to be bored enough to need a diversionary tactic.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No. So I'm sorry, Destiny. You guys didn't change anything. You just did a patch and called it 2.
I was gonna say that like I'm not technically any less interested in Destiny 2, but there's too much stuff coming up right after it that like I don't want to get started in it and then just get sucked out immediately.
I can't invest into it. I just can't.
But what you just said, that convinced me not to do that. So
No,
Destiny 2, September 6th, 2017. Hope you guys are looking forward to it. We are.
I hope everyone else is too. I know a lot of people still really enjoy the series. I hope it provides you with many months of entertainment, and then once Anthem's out, you'll stop playing.
That's about right. Week after that, we got Metroid 2: Samus Returns, the first Metroid game in quite a while.
Yeah.
This is on the 3DS only. This is the remake of Metroid 2 up from the Game Boy on the 3DS.
So dust off your 3DSs.
Yep, that's what I'll be doing. I'm definitely playing that one.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
In the mood for a
I
Metroid
don't have
game.
a 3DS, so I would like to, but
Yeah,
whatever.
no, that sucks. I mean, it's a great game.
Yeah.
This is one that they should definitely like cross-platform. Like if you had the Switch by then, they should put it on the Switch.
Will.
Yeah, I feel like eventually they will, but it'll be like a year from now, you know?
Yeah. No, that's the thing, and they should have just done it right off the bat.
Yeah, they
it's on the
should've
3DS and the Switch.
Yeah, that would have been so much hype that there was
and it still complies with that whole like we're not forgetting the 3DS, but instead they're like, there's one game coming out that's only for the 3DS, and everyone's like, but we bought the other one.
Like everyone
too.
wanted this on the Switch. Like just put it on the fucking Switch.
Like it's fine.
Yeah. Anyways, really looking forward to that one. So that's another definite play for me. Then a week, 4 days after that, September 19th, we get Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I can safely say that I'm not going to be playing that game anymore.
No.
It had a bad demo. It's people have said the fighting system is actually better from what they've played at like actual demos, like at E3 and whatnot. But I'm just not into the character roster they've had so far.
No.
And I know Dragon Ball Z Fighters is coming out, which if I'm gonna sink my time into a fighting game, it's gonna be that one.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
No, I'm not gonna be running for you, unfortunately.
No. Then after that, the long-awaited Cuphead on September 29th, 2017.
Which is one of the coolest games to be made by a small team that grew into a very large network of members of a team. Started actually here in Ottawa, or in Toronto, and then Ottawa, maybe in that order.
They seem all around in this area, like it's Ottawa, Toronto, like a couple areas around Toronto. Like
but I think the first
like
two
Hamilton.
who started the whole thing off, one of the guys that we contacted there, I forget his name, who's in Ottawa, who's dev on it, and then the director, they started it here in town, and then I think they moved to Toronto. I can't remember how it worked. But nevertheless, it's local to us, which is awesome and cool. Also, probably one of the biggest fucking, like, you want to talk about scope of a project. You're going to sit out and be like, we're going to single cell classic animate my game.
Yeah.
Like an old school Steamboat Mickey, and you've done it, which is impressive. It's a beautiful looking game. I'm very excited to see how it does, and I think it's going to be a huge success. It's not on any console I own.
I hope it is.
I might play it on my computer.
Yeah, I guess you could, yeah.
But, you know, I would love to play it. If I get my chance to get my hands on it, I will. I won't be running out for it because it's not on a console I have, but I am super excited for this game, and I really hope this game gets a huge well received.
Me too. I hope it does well for them. They've been through a lot, and just like even reworking the game because they were just going to do the boss rush mode at first, and then they slowly built it into like a full platformer. So yeah. Or fingers crossed those guys do well.
Yeah.
And that's it for September. I'll probably be playing Cuphead and Metroid 2: Samus Returns. We'll see. We'll see how... Maybe I have to give up one for the other.
Samus is going to win, dude.
Oh, yeah. Samus is definitely going to win.
Yeah.
Right after I just said, like, hope they do well. Goodbye. Nintendo's got me. Okay, October 2017. Kicking things off on October 3rd with Battle Chasers Night War by one of Mike and my favorite artist, Joe Mad.
Joe Madureira, easily my number one favorite comic book artist of all time. So very specific to comic books, but awesome writer too, great creator, and he made a comic book back in the 90s, which only I think had like a 20-issue run or something, but became a huge cult hit called Battle Chasers. I highly suggest going to check it out, and reading the books. They're amazing, and the artwork is... but then Joe Mad decided to turn that into a full RPG that he's made, which is Battle Chasers Night War.
And it looks like a really cool RPG, and I've been hearing really good things about it too.
Yeah,
which is nice.
Yeah, I was worried because I looked at it and I'm like, well, this kind of just looks like your old classical JRPG with Joe Mad's artwork on it, which I'm like, that's neat, but whatever. But I've been hearing that it's actually a lot more fun than that, so I'm excited, and I'm definitely going to be picking it up myself because I want to support Joe Mad's work. Plus, the game looks like a lot of fun, and I'm a huge Battle Chasers fan.
Agreed. That'll probably be one I'm playing too. Well, maybe not.
No,
I'm looking forward. Yeah,
I don't think you're going
there's no time for that. Never mind. Next up, the week after, is Middle Earth: Shadow of War, the sequel to the same name of that game. What the fuck is the last one called? Middle Earth.
Wasn't it Shadow of Mordor?
Oh yeah, that's what it was. It was Shadow of Mordor. Yeah. Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor. This one's Shadow of War. This game looks just as good as the first one, although I've heard it performs way worse, like frame rate wise and whatnot. I'm sure they'll probably have that like cleaned up by the time it comes out.
Yeah.
But that was a game that, like, when it came out, there was not much else to play, and I really enjoyed it for what it was, despite me not liking Lord of the Rings shit at all.
Yeah.
So I hope everyone enjoys this game, but I'm sitting this one out.
Yeah, same here.
And probably never playing it.
Just with what's literally coming out 3 days later.
Yes. So October 13th, which is a Friday the 13th.
Oh.
We get The Evil Within 2. This one is the same main character as the last one, Sebastian. I don't want to spoil anything, so I don't want to get too into the mindfucky aspects. But this time they're trying to tell a way more personal story, because last time you didn't get a lot about Sebastian himself. This time they're trying to tell a lot more personal story, as you probably can glean from the trailer, with that small girl in it.
Yeah, and a lot of him being kind of tormented.
Yes. So I think they're going to be going that angle a lot more. I hope the story's more interesting. The story of the first one is interesting, but not... It's more like in the concept of it rather than the... like what actually happens to your character.
I feel like the visuals, and I don't mean the graphics, I mean like the actual art behind it is way stronger than it was before. Like with the visuals I saw from that trailer, I was really impressed, and like I just alone on the creativity behind everything except for the camera head monster. Like everything was very, very interesting.
This seems to be like a trope that they're doing, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's like a play on like the Pyramid Head or something from like Silent Hill.
But apparently it follows you around and takes pictures and stuff. It's like it's a cooperative AI.
It's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like the last one, they had a monster that was like a safe head. Like it was a safe.
Yeah.
That was it.
Oh.
He was a safe head.
Do they do anything?
Yes, but I can't tell you what.
Oh.
That's a big spoiler.
Like you literally can't.
Yeah, I can't tell you either. It's a spoiler.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
So Evil Within 2, I'm really hoping that for this one to control better, just right off the bat. Because you could get better controls as you slowly upgraded, but like I literally had to like spend all my points into better aim, like immediately. I didn't go for health. I didn't go for like my shitty running speed or anything. I immediately went to trying to make my aim better because I hate the fucking artificial sway that you put on the gun.
Yeah.
I realize it's supposed to make it more scary. It just makes it more frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. They're pulling off horror in different ways in that game that I don't need the fucking controls to be scary too. So I'm looking forward to that one a lot.
Yeah, same here.
Fuck.
Yeah,
all these goddamn games are coming out. When I saw Evil Within and Wolfenstein at E3 this year, I was like, oh fuck, I should really play through Evil Within 1 again to get the story back. And then, same with Wolfenstein 1. I was like, I should play through that again to, get my genes back up.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I'm gonna have time.
No.
There's no way. I have to eliminate stuff I've already not wanted to eliminate. Fuck, I really want to go back through the Evil Within 1. I want to do it again. God damn it. Okay, well, I'm really looking forward to that one. I'm glad you are too. That'd be a great one to do a spoiler cast on, because I'm sure there'll be a whole legion of fan theories about like what's actually going on in that game.
It just depends on about how quickly we can get through either one of these.
Yeah.
Because right after this, for October 17th, we have
South Park, the Fractured Butthole.
Which will probably have to be stored away in a butthole for a while.
God, you know what's so frustrating about this? Is I bought this last year.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered this game, which I never do. I never pre-order games. But I saw this, and I know I never pre-order games. I don't see any fucking reason to. I'm not giving you money before I know it's good. Really wanted to play this game when I saw it, and I was like, fuck it, I'm pre-ordering it because they gave you the first game with it, which I hadn't played yet. So I actually played through the first one on Xbox One. I don't know why I bought it there. And I don't.
I was going to say.
I have no idea why I did. I just did. And maybe the deal was there first or something. I don't know. So I bought it there, played the first one, and the second one, Fractured But Whole, was supposed to come out like a couple months later, and I was all in the mood for it. And they were like, actually, we're delaying it an entire year. Yeah. You're like, oh, fuck, really? So now I just own this game, and it's now finally coming out in like 3 months.
You know, like the whole push seemed like they were pushing it off to not have to fall into some sort of competing month, and now at this point, it's just like the worst month they could have picked, because there's Battle Chasers for me, but then Evil Within 2, because like I won't even get through Battle Chasers by the time Evil Within 2 comes out.
No, 10 days, yeah.
I probably will just like buy it and leave it in the backlog for a while. And then another 3 days, 5 days?
10 days.
10 days later comes South Park, Fractured But Whole.
No.
Oh.
No. Oh, sorry, you're saying from Evil Within 2.
Yeah, from Evil Within 2.
5 days from Evil Within 2, and then right after that, we got fucking Assassin's Creed Origins, Super Mario Odyssey, and Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, all on October 27th.
And out of the last half of the list, neither one of us are playing Assassin's Creed. We've moved on from that franchise, or at least I have. I don't think Kyle ever was in on it. And then Super Mario Odyssey, huge. That's my reason for buying a Switch.
I'm all in. Yeah. That game looks fucking incredible.
Nice part is, actually, this is where the Switch comes in handy. Whenever I'm out and about for trips or whatever, that's when I can play Super Mario. When I can't play Evil Within or Wolfenstein. But then, even then, I haven't finished fucking Battle Chasers. I probably haven't finished Evil Within unless it's a shorter game. And then I have to play Mario, which is going to be a very long game if Nintendo has gotten this as a new pattern.
Yeah,
and then Wolfenstein 2, which will be a long game.
God, I'm gonna... I don't know how to tackle this, because I really want to play all those games all the time as soon as they come out.
Luckily, there doesn't seem to be anything heavily set for November or December.
No, November is Call of Duty and that Life is Strange thing, and that's all we really know.
So we got months to take care of some stuff.
Yeah, so we're clear for now. There was a bunch of stuff like so there's unscheduled releases. The two that I have on here are honorable mentions because like we had them on our fucking indie game list.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably not coming out this year.
No.
Death's Gambit, 2 years in a row, has been on our top 10 indie list to watch out for. Still not coming out.
No, they're still releasing asset art. So.
I know. It seems like they're still like really early in development on Twitter. Like I keep following them and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Knights and Bikes, which is another cool looking like cartoony artsy game.
Which
and
looks like a lot of fun.
It does, and like again, that doesn't not seem like it's going to release this year.
No,
You'd have a date by now, I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my plan for October. I'm not going to play Battle Chasers.
No.
Probably like you, I might buy it and just let it sit.
Yeah.
Middle Earth is not getting played at all.
No.
Evil Within 2 immediately.
Yeah.
South Park Fractured But Whole, I already own it, so it's just going to sit there dead.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed not playing. And then, so I'm going to hope I can finish Evil Within 2 in like, that's a week and a half. That's 2 weeks. I can beat Evil Within 2 in 2 weeks. This game, it wasn't like, the first game wasn't super long. It was like 14 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not like super long.
If it's like 21 to like 25-ish hours of time with this one, maybe a little bit longer, then yeah.
I'd say probably
if it's in that range, like the 20 to 30 hour mark, I could do that in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be like 15 honestly or something.
We're gonna burn ourselves out again.
Yeah, probably. So the saving grace here is that it's not on the same console. Like Super Mario Odyssey might be something that like while we're watching TV with our partners, we can like just sit back and
play. Yeah.
And then when we actually have the TV to ourselves, we can play Wolfenstein 2 if we want.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. That's what I'm hoping for. That is my goal. I think and those games are so opposite. It's not like I'm trying to play Call of Duty and Wolfenstein at the same time or something.
I think a really good mindset as well is that I don't have a mindset to try and super beat Mario in any sort of speed. Like, that game can play for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not aiming to have Super Mario done in a month or anything like that.
That's just like fun. You can play whenever, pick it up, get one of those star bits or whatever the fuck they are. Moons.
And that's the thing too, right? Like, I mean, maybe this game, Super Mario game, has more story in it than the others. Who knows? Because of the way the content's kind of presented. However, even with fucking New Zelda, what the fuck is it called?
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. Even the guys on what was it? Kind of Funny, or the guys that answered your question.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
The Kind of Funny guys actually answered a question that Cal sent in telling them. That's
right, I was on there this week.
Yeah.
Go check that episode out. It's on our Twitter and Facebook feeds.
Yeah. And then when they answered your question about mobile gaming and stuff, they said that the Zelda game was not built around like this constant continual story. It was about playing in these little chunks because the world was so open and explorable. You could go over to a little section.
And I just recently picked up a Switch with Zelda, and I've been doing just that. Today, I work from home. I had to go upstairs to make lunch in my kitchen. I just sat by the pot that was boiling to make sure it was not overboiling. I was just leaning against the counter playing Zelda in like 5-minute chunks, and then I'd go and stir the pot and fucking get the other ingredient out, go back to Zelda, play a little 5 minutes, and 5 minutes is enough to do some of the shrines in there. Like, it was crazy. They were totally right. Like, the day they answered that question, I was like, bullshit. And then like 3 days later, I have the game, and I was like, they're right.
Yeah. But
so Mario will probably be the same
thing. It's like you can just pop it on in chunks, while like Evil Within and Wolfenstein are like sit down and prepare to be engrossed into something.
For sure,
so
especially with Evil Within.
So I don't think Super Mario is going to qualify as something that's going to consume much of our time, except for just like progressively getting through it.
I don't want to promise anything, but I would really like to do an Evil Within 2 spoiler cast
Same here.
for October.
We'll put a personal goal between us.
Yeah, that'll be a good like spooky thing to do.
Yeah.
It'll be a good spooky thing to do. We're spooky boys.
We can try and get it done for a freaking Halloween podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then try and just... Wolfenstein will finish when we finish.
Well, yeah, Wolfenstein will exist.
Yeah.
We talked about the unscheduled releases for this year. Probably Death's Gambit Nights and Bikes probably pushed 2018. Who fucking knows? But let's go with the game that we mentioned in the last bit of the news segment. Ni no Kuni has been pushed to January 19th, 2018. So
I'm definitely playing this. I'm a huge fan of that game. And it's funny, I never got to really finish it. I bought it... When did it come out? PS2? PS3?
No, it's PS3.
It was PS3?
Yeah.
It went on the PS3. Right. It was mid-PS3 era, I think. Yeah. I bought it then, played 3 hours of it, stopped because of other games came out, never went back to it, always regretted it. PS3 died. Got the PS4, didn't have it on there anymore because I thought they could port it over and just keep playing, but I couldn't keep playing my Ni no Kuni anymore. Someone gave away my fucking PS3. That's right. And then finally got to play Ni no Kuni on the PS4 when it came out on PS Now, which is a great service. Fucking barreled through that game. Like, classic RPG, Ghibli style awesomeness. This looks like more definitely playing that.
Yeah, that's a definite play. And like, I'm, by then I should be done most of these games or crying myself to sleep for not playing them.
And by that point I'll be craving a good old hardcore RPG.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be finally be time again. I feel like, yeah, I could do it then. Yeah, and then a month and 10 days after that, in February 29th, we're getting Far Cry 5. I just like Far Cry games. That looks like more Far Cry at this point. I know we all had high expectations that it might actually be good, but it's not. No, it's not to say good. We thought it might actually have a good storyline, and it does. It seems like it's kind of be bullshit.
It just looks like more Far Cry.
Yeah, it totally looks more Far Cry. So I don't think you're interested in that one, are you?
No, not anymore.
Yeah, I still am, just because I really enjoy the Far Cry games.
I've never been into the Far Cry series, and then I was looking at this one thinking it would be interesting because I thought it was tackling some interesting subject matter and to explore things a lot more. But since it is basically what I know of Far Cry again, just set in that setting, I was like, all right.
It's going to have a really interesting premise and then squander it halfway through.
Yeah.
That'll basically be it. Now we have a bunch of Nebula's game releases. This is just quarter 1 or quarter 2 in 2018. So the first half of the year, basically, this is what Sony said at their conference. First half of the year, these games are supposed to be confirmed to be coming out. God of War.
Yeah.
We're probably March, right? Well, like we said, every other game released in March. Probably March.
Yep.
I mean, we're both definitely playing that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Red Dead Redemption. Sony didn't confirm this, but that's just Rockstar's nebulous date for when they think it's coming out now. You're not interested in this game. You don't like Rockstar games, right?
What are their
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto, don't play those.
Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Manhunt.
No.
Bully.
No. I've never played Bully, but I've heard really good things about it.
Bully's amazing. It's my favorite one.
Yeah.
And they did one of the Max Paynes, the newest Max Payne.
I like Max Payne.
Oh, Max Payne.
Okay.
This probably won't be that.
No.
This is basically going to be like Grand Theft Auto, but Wild West.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically how it plays.
And I'm not interested in those kind of games, but not out of a hatred for them or thinking that they're bad. I totally think there's an amazing place for them, and I think they are incredible games. I just don't.
I'm just surprised. Like, did you ever? I feel like everyone did this. It was a gamer anyway. Like, you went into a friend's house and they were,
played Grand Theft Auto for like hours on end.
And you just did the thing where you like hand the controller over and you do dumb shit until the police come after you, and then you see how long you can fend them off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've literally done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no like reverence for even that part of it, really. No. Oh,
I didn't get the hook. I didn't get it. Everyone else was having a great time doing that, and they're like, "Here, you take it over," and I'd just be like, okay, and then I get away.
The newest one, Grand Theft Auto 5, has a really cool like crime story. Like, I really think like it could be a movie.
Oh yeah.
Not that I'm saying you should play through the game for that, because it's the long ass game, but like it is a great story.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure, but I think that also kind of ties to it. So my least favorite genre in films. I've never had an obsession with gangster movies of any kind, so I've always tried to or not always tried. I've just always avoided.
You've always strayed away from them.
It's just not my
that's
thing.
fine.
And it's not I hate them. Fuck. I mean.
No, I mean that's me with like medieval shit on most things. I'm just like, that's not my jam.
Scarface is an incredible movie. Godfathers are the best gangster movies ever done. They're extremely well crafted films.
Overrated.
They are. They're extremely overrated.
It insists upon itself.
It insists upon itself. Yeah. But they are incredible movies for what they've accomplished. But I just don't find an interest. And then, again, as part of the quarter, is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Do you believe this is going to come out the first half of next year?
Yes.
Yeah?
But I do not believe their claims that this game is going to not be a giant QuickTime Fest.
I think every giant set piece is going to be QuickTime Fest.
Yes.
And I bet the regular gameplay will be fine.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the story of that game. I really want to see what villains they've chosen.
Yeah.
And the last one is Monster Hunter World, which is just having a 2018 release date in general. But again, it was at the Sony conference. Probably coming out within the first 6 months.
Yeah.
That's one me and Mike are both tentatively interested in.
Tentatively, more content I see, like I get excited about like seeing one thing. I'll be like, oh, that looks cool, and then I'll be like, oh, that's janky. Oh, that looks cool. That looks dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks like. So I'm not sure yet.
Yeah. So we're keeping our eye on that one. That one's not a for sure.
Yeah.
But that's it for the list. Why don't you write in and tell us at meetpensandpixels@gmail.com what games you're planning on sacrificing to play for the other ones, or if you're interested in any of these at all.
Yes. Do you have any advice on how to survive October?
Yeah, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yep.
So if you want to, you can find me on Twitter at TheCalG. You can find Mike at MikeKentDraws. And you can find Pens and Pixels across all social medias. PNP_Popcast on Twitter.
Yep.
And Pens and Pixels on Facebook.
Yep. And be sure to give us a like, share, and subscribe on all major social media. Also give us a rating and a thumbs up and a subscribe on YouTube for our YouTube content as well. All that stuff really helps us out. Be sure to share us around and spread us around if you like our content. And other than that, we will see you guys next week.
We are Ghost.
We are like the movie.
Oh
my love.
It's better than what I meant.